Hey everyone, Stephanie here. So I'm doing things a little differently. I am recording a video of me recording the episode because this is going to be my bonus episode. So it's just me today, and we'll see how this goes. If you're listening on the podcast on Spotify or whatever, the video doesn't matter to you, obviously. But for those of you curious, I'll post this probably on Instagram, and we technically have a YouTube channel for the podcast, but we rarely get on there. So I'm here for my bonus episode. Carrie will be so proud. And I watched the holiday mismatch, and I am just now realizing I did not pull this movie up. Now, I know what it is, but I can't remember the people's names. I can picture them, but I can't remember the cast. Okay, about holiday mismatch. Okay, so this has Caroline Ray, I never know how to pronounce her last name, and Beth Broderick, who were, the aunts on Sabrina and the Teenage Witch. And in this movie, they are both on the Christmas committee for the town, but differing personalities. One's the quirky, go with the flow, and the other one is by the book rules type person. And they accidentally set their children up through a dating app for parents, specifically for parents to find their children love, which is interesting. I wonder if this app actually exists like in real life in some form. So they teamed up their kids, realized their mistake, like, oh, I don't want your child dating my child because it would never work because we don't get along either. And so they try and break them up, right? That is the premise. So for setting, I gave it a 4. I liked all the different moving parts of the little town and the decorating and their house. It felt very Christmassy to me. I liked this movie, so my ratings are going to reflect that. Style, I also gave it a 4. I loved Caroline's quirky sweaters. There was a comment in the very beginning of the movie where Beth's character is like, oh, I didn't realize it was Ugly Sweater Day for their first meeting. And Caroline's like, it's not. What are you talking about? I made this. And she's like, oh, okay. So her sweaters were really cute. Otherwise, everybody else looked fine, right? Story, I gave it a 5. So at first, I was a little worried that it wasn't going to be as funny as I'd hoped. And it was like kind of taking a while to get places or whatever. But that worry quickly disappeared because Caroline and Beth together are so cute and so funny. So I gave it a 5. There were a couple, I only wrote down 3 notes for it, some scenes. Um, so a lot of the humor comes from these moms trying to break up their kids, right? Not knowing that the kids are only pretending to date to get their moms off their backs. So no matter what these moms do to try and break them up, it's not going to work anyway because the kids are determined to fake date to keep their moms from setting them up with other people. So it's kind of funny because the plans that the moms have to break their kids apart would probably work if their children, if they hadn't raised good kids, basically, because the scenarios were all set to expose a flaw in one of the kids, like, oh, quick to anger, oh, too rigid, isn't flexible kind of thing. And if the kids weren't so, I guess, mature, they would have reacted in the expected way by the parent. And it probably would have broken up these two people, if they weren't, even if while they were faking it, because they'd be like, wow, I can't even be around this person because they're just a horrible human. But like I said, the kids were more mature and reacted opposite of the expectedness. And it kind of, as these things do, they backfire, and they made the kids realize, this actually is a good person and I do kind of like them. And maybe this should be like a real dating situation, which was cute. One of the scenarios were Caroline took her daughter and Beth's son to Christmas tree shopping, and some antics happened at the Christmas tree lot. But what killed me was when they get this tree back to Caroline's, a freaking rat, scurries out of the tree and into the living room. And of course, I think his name is John McLaren. He's the son. He he's freaking out like, oh my gosh, it's a rat. And Caroline's like, well, you're the man, go and get it. Like trying to play this up for her daughter, be like, you don't want him. Eventually he does capture this. It was a huge white rat. And then they just took him outside. But I was not expecting to see a creature crawl out of a tree. That might be a first for Hallmark. A living, breathing critter crawling out of a Christmas tree and wreaking havoc. That was shocking to me. But it was funny. And then I also liked they did trolley caroling, which is exactly what it sounds like. They all got into a trolley and they all sang carols. And I have been on a Christmas trolley tour before where they take you around all the businesses and homes that are like super decorated with the Christmas lights and everything. We did not carol, but there is something about riding around in a trolley to look at lights that is very Christmassy and like warm and cozy. And so singing carols, it was a really, really cute scene. And then the things that happened on the trolley, as far as the kids talking about, it was a turning point for them. Like, he wants their fake dating relationship to be real. She's not so sure. And the moms are worried because they find out that the son is fake dating the daughter, but they don't know she's in on it. So they're like, how do I break them up or tell my daughter so she doesn't get hurt? I really liked this whole tangle of kind of miscommunication and meddling. And then like the climax of it all coming out and these kids genuinely being upset with their moms about interfering in their lives, um, was really well done. And then stars, I gave it another 5. Loved Beth, loved Caroline, and I actually really thought the kids, their children, were super cute couple, and they were just very sweet. I really liked them. So maybe we'll see them in the future as like genuine leads. I mean, they were the leading romance in this movie, but this movie wasn't really a romance. It was more like these two women adjusting their lives without like their kids needing them all the time and like becoming friends and stuff. It was good. It was funny and cute. Christmas, I gave it a 4 because I had some Christmas feels and like I said, a ton of Christmas decorating. They had trolley caroling, and there was some other like Christmas activities. So I felt the Christmas. I gave it a 4, and then I gave it a love. Yay! So I would definitely recommend watching Holiday Mismatch. It was a cute movie. I probably should have picked it for me and Carrie to record our ratings for like the main podcast episodes, but whatever. Um, I got to do the bonus. So that is it. That is all I wrote for this movie because I was just watching it instead of writing notes. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, you can follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to us. Subscribe, and then you'll get notifications when we drop new episodes like this bonus. You can also leave us a review or rate us 5 stars. Let's see. You can follow us on Instagram at Love and Nonsense Podcast. And let's see, what is the next episode? The next episode is a preview for all the Christmas movies that are coming out this coming week. So stay tuned for that. It'll be me and Carrie, but not on video. One of these days, Carrie and I will maybe record on here a video. Maybe not. We'll see. Okay. Bye.